All right, y'all. Y'all always asking us where we traveling to next. I wish I had travel friends like y'all. I wish I can go with y'all. But guess what? We got an opportunity for y'all to come travel with us.
But first, you got to do this survey now. The survey is going to be in the bio. You got to take the survey because in this survey, you're going to have your budget. You're going to have what time of the year you can travel.
But most importantly,
where you want to go, okay?
Where we going?
And the most votes, wherever we get the most votes of, that's where we're going to go. Internationally, of course, all right?
Not across the street, across the water.
Across the water, not across the street. You done been across the street, you're trying to go across the water.
Yeah.
Now, make sure that you pick somewhere we haven't been. Like, we've been to Egypt, Tanzania, Zanzibar, Senegal. We've been to these places. We want to go somewhere new so we can experience the newness with you guys, all right? So thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for joining us. And matter of fact, the more people we get to survey, the better the chances are we can get the place that you want to go. So we need everybody to do the survey. And if you want to travel with us, this is the perfect time. So we hope that you do the survey and we hope to see you there. It'll be 2023.
So let's travel.
Let's travel.
Let's go now.
All right.
My name is Markis, and this is that time that I drove to Miami with Mace. All right, so what was it? It was like 2008, probably, somewhere around then. I was like fresh out of, I was like a junior in college at that time. I was super broke, but I was going to Mace's church, and, you know, no disrespect to him or anything like that, but it was such an awkward situation. I get a call. First of all, Mace never calls on a regular number. He always calls private or he calls through somebody else. Like, hey, he needs you to meet him somewhere. So I get one of those calls. Hey, we need you to meet at the airport in an hour with a pack bag.
So before you get into that, how did you know Mace to even get to this point where he's calling you?
Okay.
People probably want to know.
That's very fair. That's very fair. So I was with Cam in Rome and all the guys back when we were in college. We started, we were trying to look for a church that we can go to every now and then. We found Mace's church. I started going there not long. Actually, you know, my dad, he passed away, and then I was like, okay, you know what? I need to get my life together or whatever. So I started going there full throttle. And then after a few years of like going to the church and then volunteering, helping things out, I did graphics there every now and then. Eventually, he saw me, he saw how consistent I was, and was like, hey, you want to like assist and do other things? So I started doing more private things for him, like driving him around every now and then. I might go pick up something from the mall or whatever he needs or anything like that, as well as helping out at the church directly with him.
All right.
Yeah. So at this point,
Now it makes sense why he's calling.
This makes sense why he's calling. Just not a random hit up. Yeah. So I get that random call. Hey, we need you to meet at the airport in an hour with a pack bag. Can you do it? I was like, all right, bet. I'll do it. So I was so broke at this time. I had to call in a couple favors, get a couple of rides, get a pack bag with like some basic clothes and stuff like that. Had no idea what I was doing or how long I would be gone. But I made it.
So you didn't have more money, more problems. You had no money, more
no money, the most problems.
All right, yeah, it makes sense,
bro. So like I get there just in time, like maybe a couple of minutes to spare. I pull up, and a friend of mine drops me off there. He's downstairs at the Hartsfield-Jackson Airport in Atlanta, downstairs, Delta area. I see him pulling out bags out of his Porsche Cayenne with his wife and his 2 kids. And I was like, oh, I guess we're about to go on a flight. Okay, cool. I'm excited. I don't even think at that time, I probably only had been on a flight maybe once in my entire life. So I got excited. I was so happy. So he's with his wife. He gives her the bags. They kiss and hug or whatever. And then the wife and the kids walk off. And I was like, oh, I guess we're not going on a flight. He says, get in. I jump in. He says, no. Driver's side. I'm like, okay, cool. Throw my bag in the back, get in the driver's side. He says drive.
In a Porsche.
In a Porsche Cayenne, white Porsche Cayenne truck. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'd like driven this car like maybe one other time, but it was like, hey, can you move my car to the front, like from the parking lot to the front of the church? This is the first time I had like full control of the vehicle with him there. So I jump in. I'm in the Porsche Cayenne. We pull off. I'm like, which way would you like me to go? And he's like, straight. I'm like, okay. So like I get on the highway, make my way on the highway. We're just driving. I was like, all right. He's in south. I'm like, okay, cool. So we start driving. Eventually, and I'm talking in like maybe 15, 20 minutes into this ride, he's like, we're going to Miami. I'm like, oh, all right, cool.
No regard to what you had going on. You don't know if you got a family at home, you got to pick up your kids in an hour.
He don't care.
He said, we going to Miami.
Either you're coming or you're not. And you're already driving, so you're coming. So I'm rolling down. I hear that, and immediately like this great panic like washes over me, because like I said, college student, super broke, in a rough time in my life, but I had this opportunity to work with Mace, so like I'm taking it. Little did he know, my license was expired.
Oh my goodness. So nobody can hold Mace down, but this expired license is holding you down.
You had to keep on moving.
Yeah.
Bro. I'm driving, I'm like, in like, I love him as a human being. Like, I have nothing but respect. I appreciate him so much for all the little things that I learned from him through my time of working with him. But like, he's not a great communicator. And like, who would be growing up in Harlem in the 90s? His name was Murder Mace. I can't imagine the trauma that like this human being has probably been through. So like, him being able to communicate normal, regular things in a way that a normal, regular person would understand, that's a lot to ask for. He's just speaking in like one sentence at a time at most. And
so y'all not even having a combo. Y'all just driving in silence.
Driving basically in silence.
No
bro.
music.
Every now and then he might throw on a song like, hey, check this out. Boom, play. And then it's some unreleased Mace track. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. He's like, yeah, that's crazy. Quiet. For another several miles. Now, it's starting to get dark. I'm starting to get hungry. I'm starting to get real tired, and as Cameron knows, I can fall asleep.
Oh yeah.
I can, bro. And at this time in my life, I was at a point where I did not have control over my body. I would go until I had no more juice left, and I was classically known for falling asleep driving. It was a scary situation. I couldn't communicate to him the danger. I couldn't communicate to him that I didn't have. Oh, I was afraid. I felt like I couldn't communicate that I didn't have a working license at that time, and I don't know how long we're gonna be in Miami with no money, and how am I gonna take care of myself while I'm out there? And I'm just flying by the seat of my pants. We're driving. It's getting dark. He's looking at me. I'm like, he's like, you good? You good driving? I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
Come on. Get up. Ah, come on, man.
He's like, yo, you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. We start pulling off of the road. It's like, he's like, yo, stop, pull over right now, pull over. Then he gives me the speech about how, like, listen, like, you got to be able to, like, tell me things. You got to be able to communicate. Ironically, unfortunately, the worst communicator I've ever experienced is giving me, like, a speech about how I need to, like, be upfront about things. So I'm like, yes, I'm very tired. It would be better if you started driving. Also, my license is expired right now. He's like, why you ain't tell me, man? Why you ain't say? And I get another longer speech from the writer of More Money, More Problems about how this is a problem. And eventually he's just like, fine. Like, he gets out, he starts driving. I'm riding in the passenger seat. It's like 5 minutes before I knock out. I'm snoring. And I have no idea how much disdain he's building for me. Like, I wake up right around like 5. The sun is starting to pop up. We're parked in the middle of this, in the middle of nowhere, but somewhere between Georgia and Florida, in this like mall parking lot. We're like in the middle, like closer to the edge of it, where we can clearly see if there's anybody else tries to pull up. Because one of the big things I learned from him is that you always got to be watching. You know, he would make me drive and really actually speed so that it's easier to see whether or not somebody's chasing after you, because these are the.
So he had people chasing after him?
This is the fear I constantly was in, because he was always like, hey, somebody could be, because we were talking earlier about like how, you know, a lot of these rappers, you know, it's a dangerous time for rappers, and he constantly lived in that fear of like somebody rolling up on him trying to get an easy lick.
So that didn't feel so good for him.
Not at all. Especially
with a bunch of Mace puns right now.
Oh, I can feel it. So like, I wake up. We both wake up like around the same time. It's parked. And then I get another speech about how, because at that time I was super timid. I didn't really know who I was as a human being. I just knew that I wanted to like try to grow and expand as much as I can. And being next to a powerful person like that makes you feel like you're gonna grow up easier. And he was just like, look, Markis, like, you never have to, like, you got to be able to like be your own man. You never have to tell anybody anything. You never have to answer a question that you don't want to answer. You're your own human being, and I need you to try to be your own human being if you're gonna be able to roll with me. And I'm like, okay, cool. We make our way to Miami. We eventually get there. It's like late at night. We pull up to the Four Seasons. At that point, he had pretty much canceled me out of driving. He wasn't gonna let me drive anymore. Pull up to the Four Seasons in the Porsche Cayenne. He gets out. He says, get in the front seat just in case anybody walks up, because he's gonna go check in. And he's like, just wait here with the car running. I'm like, okay, got it. That I can do. He gets out. 15 minutes go by. I'm like, all right, I guess he's, car's still running. I'm sitting in there. I'm trying to be patient. 30 minutes go by. An hour goes by. An hour and a half goes by. I'm like, this can't be good for the car, and I can't afford to fix it. So eventually I like cut the car off around an hour and a half, 2 hours. I fall asleep in the car. Bro, he's gone till like 2, 3 a.m. and I got so excited because like somewhere down on the car ride, he was like, oh, he had mentioned Rick Ross. So I knew we were going to probably be in the studio with Rick Ross. I was so excited. That never happened. I got a knock on the car window around 2, 3, and he's like, get out. I'm like, let's go. We go inside the room. I didn't realize he had actually just gone to the studio and done his whole session without me. Left me in the car. I get there. Now, this sounds cruel, but like this was his way of operating. He was just like, yeah, you're a liability. That was the speech he gave me. He was like, look, I can't, like, you just got too many things going on. This could really like be a vulnerability that I can't afford. I got a family to take care of, and it's rough out here. We go up there. I'm in the room. I realize like there's only one bed.
This gets funnier and funnier as the story goes on. I'm like, totally, Mace, what do you want?
Just tell me up front, man. Like, let me know.
What do you want?
I look at the bed, I'm like, okay. I look around, I'm like, there's no couch. Like, it's the Four Seasons. Like, it's a really nice room, but there's only one bed. And he's like, he points to the window. In the window, there's like this little nook where you could like sit there, you could sit a bag there. It's just enough for like my human frame to like lay in the corner in this window. And he was like, that's your bed. He like throws a couple pillows there and a couple sheets. Not disrespectfully, but just, homie to homie, hey, there you go. That's where you're gonna sleep. He's like, you hungry? And I'm like, yeah. I haven't eaten in like 12 hours. It's been a long time. He's like, you can order anything, order what you want. I'm so afraid. I just get pancakes. They were $30 pancakes. Best pancakes I've ever had in my life. Shout out to the Four Seasons. Those pancakes were worth every single penny, bro. Oh my God, they came with came with some fruit, some powdered sugar on there. They danced up the butter a little bit. It was festive. I was like, ah. So the next morning we wake up. I'm like, oh, what are we gonna do? I'm excited. I'm like, maybe I'll meet Rick Ross again. Maybe he's forgiven me for all these crimes that I've committed by not telling him the truth. We go to Chick-fil-A. We pick up some Chick-fil-A. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, he got food. Like, I didn't have to pay for it because I can't afford it. And then we drive, and then we pull up into this like sketchy area, and I'm like, you keep talking to me about how you're in danger. Why are we in this neighborhood?
Do you remember the name of the neighborhood?
I don't remember the name of the neighborhood. It was on the outskirts though. It was barely even in like, it was on the outskirts of Miami. I'm trying to remember where, but maybe after this next part you'll know. Okay. We pull up to this part and I'm like, that's definitely a hooker. That's definitely like a drug dealer right there. They're tweaking. It's the Amtrak station. Or like the Greyhound bus station. Okay. Amtrak / Greyhound bus station.
Was it by the airport? I know there's one by the airport, Amtrak. I mean the bus Greyhound.
Yeah, it's probably by the airport then. Because he handed me a ticket. He was like, here's your ride home. And he was like, look, man, you're a liability. I can't handle it. I gotta do my own thing. So he sent me back to Atlanta on the Greyhound bus. That was my ride with Mace to Miami.
All right, a couple questions.
Go for it.
Did he ever get you to drive him again after that?
No. I was done. Well, I will say this. I was done for that trip. Months and months later, he checked in when he was like, hey, is your license back? You got it covered? Okay, cool. Get in this car. And then after that, I drove a lot for him. But that was a while of getting the cold shoulder.
So what was the biggest lesson you learned from that trip?
Oh man, biggest lesson I learned was to like just be honest and speak up for yourself. Say it immediately. Hey, I don't have a license right now. Like, hey, I can't afford this trip. Is that okay with you? Like, are you gonna cover me while I'm there? I really learned how to like stand up for myself on there and to realize like, oh, I'm my own human being. I don't have to answer a question. That sounds soft, but like at that point in time in my life, I just lost my dad. Like I didn't really know how to handle like life by myself. And hearing this like very powerful human being say, you don't have to do anything that somebody wants you to do. You can be your own human being. That was a big lesson for me at that time.
Okay, my last Mace pun. I guess when he did bring you back in, he said, "Welcome back."
And then he did.
Welcome back, welcome back. That's funny. All right, what comes in the box once you get it? All your retainers. I got 15 of them, so it's gonna take me 15 weeks to straighten my teeth. And I only got the top teeth because I need a bottom tooth extracted. But what's cool about Bite, they work with me, so they'll still help me with my top teeth until I get my bottom teeth situated. So I got 15 retainers all in this box. Also got some accessories. I got what you put your retainers in, carry around when you take them out to eat, or if you out or whatnot at a restaurant, you on a date, put it in there. And I got some whitening foam to use, whiten my teeth. Also, you got the Hyper Bite, which is really cool, which cuts your time in half. If you use it every day, I think it's just for 5 minutes a day, it'll cut your treatment time in half. It's the only technology that Bite has. It's a technology only Bite has, which is really cool, which separates them from all the other competition. So I'm excited to use that. And yeah, so today is the day. I'm gonna open this one, see what it looks like. Boom. But I still get the bottom with it, but it's probably just gonna keep it in place where it's at, which is cool. But this is my first tray for the first week of straightening my top teeth. So comes with instructions. Comes with a little sticker that says the wait is over. It is time to bite. I know you can't see it. If it focus, I don't know. This is cool. Let me pop it in. And it fits. Fits perfectly, actually. Yep. And it's comfortable too. But I gotta take it out before I eat or drink anything that's not water. So that's cool. Let me put this in a tray. So if y'all want to start on this journey, just use my code BITEDT.
Hi, my name is Alex, and this is the time that I found out my boyfriend was gay.
Your boyfriend.